Everyone, welcome to your Pilates. Today we're going to be mostly on the mat, and a lot of our exercises are going to be in pairs. So we can all do the first version, and then if you wish you can have a go at the more progressive one, or if it serves you better you can stay with the first version. So you've got options here, and depending how you're feeling on the day, then you can take the option that works best for you. You're also ideally going to have a cushion, fat cushion rather than the wee skinny one, or if you get yourself a pillow and fold it in half, something like that. Not the end of the world if you don't have it, but it's a nice wee addition, and if you're in my Tuesday class you'll know we were using that on Tuesday as well. So having said that, we're going to start lying down. You need a wee cushion or wee folded towel behind your head, then you do that. What you're aiming for with this wee cushion behind your head is to allow you to look straight up at the ceiling. Sometimes when we lie down, your head your neck all goes funny and you end up looking sort of behind you. So you're looking to have enough support behind your head that you're looking straight up, and that varies depending on the person and even on the day. Like if you spent a lot of time at a computer or on a phone or something, there's every likelihood you might need a wee cushion just to start with, because you're all a bit hunched up in yourself. So let's see if we can settle onto the mat. Think about those feet being hip distance apart, your knees being hip distance apart. You don't have a pillow yet, but imagine that pillow is between your knees, just spacing them out. So you're not together and you're not the full width of the mat, you're somewhere in between. And I want you to move your pelvis, I want you to tilt, I want you to rock. So can you tilt north to south? So what I mean is, as you tilt towards you, if you had a tray of drinks on your lower belly, it would be spilling towards you. If you tilt the other way, that tray of drinks would be spilling towards your feet. So tipping north, tipping south, and seeing, can you control that movement, not from your bottom muscles, but from your abdominals? Different kind of a thing, and it mightn't be as strong a movement, and that's fine. Just moving through, settle your breathing down. Don't mind how you breathe. See if you can make it quite slow and quite controlled. And you're really saying, okay, I can go completely one direction, I can go completely the other direction, but my neutral position is going to be somewhere in between, where I've got some amount of curve in my lower back. My tray of drinks would sit there, it wouldn't spill. It's nice and level. Then I want you to think about your knees staying in alignment, your legs staying in alignment, and you're going to slide one leg away. Keep it on the floor if you can as you reach that leg super long, and then you draw it all the way back. Try to keep that pelvis level as you slide the other leg away. You can see mine goes a bit juddery because I'm on a grippy mat. And then I want you to draw it back in. Super long legs, so it's not a kind of a half-hearted thing. You're really deliberately creating length right from the tips of your toes. When you get there, super straight leg, really pointed foot, and then drag it back. One more to the other side, and then we're going to bring the arm in. So this is the first half of our pair. So bringing in your arm. So opposite arm, opposite leg. I'm colliding. I wonder if I move forward a wee bit. That might help. But I still don't have quite enough room in this space in this room to lie sideways, but we'll see. So you're sliding. Let's go your right leg, your left arm. As you reach long, reach that arm long. Your arm might come right overhead. I'm colliding with the sofa, and then dragging it back. Other side. So left leg, right arm slides away. Super straight leg, arm comes right overhead if you can, and then dragging it back. So slow and controlled. Breathing with it. It's quite nice to inhale as you reach and you slide. Length out through your fingertips, length out through your toes. Exhale as you drag back. Let's have one more each side like this. This is your level one, or your first one of your pair. So you can totally stay with this level, or if you're comfortable in double knee folded, some of you are, then You're imprinting that low back, one leg into single knee fold, your other leg into double knee fold, keeping lots of strength and control here. Your arms come up into kind of a shoulder drop position, just above your shoulders, and we're taking this into dead bug. This is your second of your pair, so if you need to stay with arms and legs down, you do. Otherwise, as you breathe out, one arm, one leg extends. As you breathe in, it returns. As you breathe out, you reach and extend. So again, your arm might come fully over. Your leg is going to go on a diagonal. The closer to the ceiling is going to be a little bit easier. As you start to bring that leg close to the floor, it's an awful lot harder. So you choose your level. But remember what you did when you were doing the version on the floor. It's still a super straight leg and a super long arm. So reach it out as if you're really trying to reach that leg out of its socket and back. Breathe out as you reach, because that's the difficult bit. Keep that pelvis under control and back. Let's have one more each side. So reaching away with right leg, left arm, and draw it back. Last one. Draw it back in. Hug those knees in towards your chest. Have a wee roll from side to side. And then from here, one foot comes down, your other foot comes down. And if you've got a wee cushion in, just take that cushion away. Feet closer to your bottom. This is where you need, can't reach. This is where you need your cushion or your pillow, which is going in between your knees. If we were in class, we'd be using, the overballs, the big squishy balls, but we don't have those right now, so we're going for cushions. Really, it's to act as a spacer between those legs and to give us a bit of inner thigh connection. So those feet are level with each other. They're not together, they're spaced apart. Your knees are spaced apart because your cushion's there. You start in neutral. We're coming into our spine curl, but we're going to start with a few baby ones. So as we breathe out, we tilt that pelvis. Use your abdominals to start with. So you're tilting towards you, your tray of drinks is spilling towards you. Then as you start to peel and pick up your pelvis, pick up each segment of your lower back, then your bottom muscles have to kick in. Only come as far as really the bottom of your rib cage, so a baby spine curl. And then I want you to roll back down again, keeping that tray of drinks spilling towards you for as long as you can, as you find each segment of your lower back, your bottom and your pelvis land, and you release back to that neutral position with your wee gap at your lower back. Let's go again. So as you breathe out, you tilt that pelvis, drinks are spilling towards you. We're going to go all the way up this time, but we go kind of super slow. So we pick up each segment of our lower back. We start moving through and picking up rib by rib by rib by rib, and we end up in a nice straight line between our knees and our shoulders, and our bottom muscles are definitely working. We breathe in when we're here, and as we breathe out, we sigh out. We let that upper back start to come down piece by piece by piece, rolling down rib by rib by rib. Keep tilting that tray towards you so that you find that lower back first, then your pelvis, and then you release to neutral. Breathe in. As you breathe out, off you go. So tilting first, peeling that pelvis, that bottom, each segment of your lower back. Find each rib, each rib, each rib, sending your knees away from you. Breathe in at the top and breathing out to come back down. Again, just kind of notice how you're feeling. I was doing this last night and I discovered the front of my thighs are incredibly tight. So what I'm really focusing on as I tilt and I roll is sending those knees forward, really reaching them away as if someone's pulling, as if someone's got their hand on top of my knees and they're pulling them away from me, and you get this fabulous opening at the front of your hips. And of course your bottom muscles have to join in as well. Breathing in at the top and breathing out, rolling back down, enjoying that movement through your spine. Finding that lower back, bottom lands released to neutral. So you can absolutely stay with this. The second of the pair of this, bring your arms above your shoulders. And your arms stay here, they don't move. Let's give it a go. So as you breathe out, you tilt. You start to pick up your bottom, your lower back, segment by segment. Now you don't have your arms there to help you balance, so you're going to be a bit more wobbly. And that's okay. You're noticing that now your legs, your feet have to stabilize so much more. Breathing in at the top, breathing out, sighing out, rolling back down. Your arms just stay there, stay there, stay there the whole time. Same movement through your spine, but it feels different because you don't have your arms to support you. And as you do this, can you think about your shoulder blades coming even wider on that mat? Really enjoy that width. Breathe in at the top, breathing out to come back down. Even as you come down, think of sending those knees away. And that length. Let's have one more. So our next exercise is going to be our curl up. Most of you are curlers, some of you are not curlers. So if you're not a curler, then you're going to stay with your spine curl. But if you can do your curl up, you land, you release to neutral, you bring your hands behind your head, interlace your fingers. As you breathe in, little head nod, and as you breathe out, bit of pelvic floor, bit of abdominals drawing in, as you pick up your head and you curl that upper back away from the mat. You breathe in when you're up there, and breathe out to come back down. So if this isn't for you, that's fine. Have a few more spine curls. Keep moving. Breathe in, little head nod. Breathing out. Curling up. Breathe in. And breathing out to come back down. I want you to check out what happens round your belly and your pelvis. It would be super tempting to sort of pop your belly up and push down on your pelvic floor, and that is not what we're after. So I want you to be aware as you come up, there's gentle drawing up of your pelvic floor, gentle drawing in of your belly, and that stabilizes you, and that does a huge amount of the work to curl you up. You breathe in, and you breathe out to come back down. Let's have 3 more. So breathing in, little head nod, wide shoulders, long neck, so your shoulders are sort of sliding down your back. Breathe in when you're up there, breathing out to come back down. Last 2, so inhale, little head nod, exhale, curling up. Use that breath. As you breathe out through your mouth. I can maybe even hear you. Well, I'd be struggling to hear you, but you'll hear your own breathing. Last one, breathe in, little head nod, breathe out, curling up. Using your hands to support the weight of your head without holding on your head. Breathe in when you're there. And breathing out to come back down. From here, I'm going to take your cushion out. If you want your little head pad back in behind your head, you can do that. And from here, we're going to go into our 100. We're all going to do kind of the prep version, and then we've got 2 versions we can choose after that. So the very, very first version, legs down, head down, and we're going to just do our arms. But we're going to do about 50 beats here because I want you to get the idea of what's happening with your arms and your shoulders. And I want you to try and get your breathing in line as well. So we breathe in for 5 and we breathe out for 5. Our arms are super long. You're reaching through your fingertips, and as you beat your arm, it's your whole arm that moves right from your back line. You might even feel that connect into the back of your rib cage. So it's not just your hand, and it's not a kind of wavy, flappy thing. It is a long arm, and it's really deliberate, and you're reaching out, you're really lengthening out through your fingertips, out through your elbows, and you keep your lovely long neck. So let's give it a go. Just our arms, we're going to do 5 beats, so we're going to do 50, okay? So we breathe in as we start to pulse. We breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Long arms. And out, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep that connection with your back line. 2, 3, 4, 5. Last round, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let your arms come down. The 100 is Joseph Pilates, when he did his Pilates and he was developing his method, the 100 was his first exercise, and it was a real thing to bring heat and warmth into your body and get your breathing in sync. It was a deliberate, strong exercise. So that's what we're after with those arms. If that's your level, you stay there. most of you can do this in single knee fold. So if you're a single knee fold person, you're going to do 50 with one leg, and then you're going to set it down and you're going to peel up the other leg, other 50. I'm going to do the slightly stronger, or the definitely stronger version, which is coming into an imprint. One leg, other leg. So you're in double knee fold. You can stay here, or if you want to make it even harder, then your hands come behind your head, you nod your head, and you curl yourself up, and one arm long and your other arm long. Legs are glued together, belly's drawn in, lower back towards that floor. You choose your level, whatever your start position is, you choose that, whether it's both feet down or 1 foot down, head up, head down. You choose, I can't see you, you choose the one that works for you. Arms reach long no matter which, and let's go. So we're breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep those arms long, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is coming up to 50, 2, 3, 4, 5. Change legs if that's your half. 2, 3, 4, 5, and in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 30 to go, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, last one, reach those arms, and out, 3, 4, 5, lay your head down if it was up, hug your knees in, have a little roll on your lower back. Hug those knees, create wee circles, let your low back release, well done. Okay, from here we're coming on to our front. And I'm going to show you, kind of while I'm sitting up, I'm going to show you your start position, because once we come down onto our front, once I come down, you may not see that clearly what we're doing. So, this is your kind of start position. Imagine I'm on my front, where your fingertips are roughly in line with your eyes. What we're going to do, our kind of level 1, is drawing those elbows down into our waist and releasing. So it's our chicken wings and release. Our level 2 involves also a T and a start position and a chicken wing and a back. So that's our movements. Choose which one you want to go for, but we're coming onto our front. Some of you would use a wee cushion under your waist, so if that's you, see if you can fold a towel a couple of times. Most of you will be lying just on your mat. Get your start position so your hands are quite wide. Again, notice that your pelvis could be tucked under or it could be arched, and see if you can find a middling position. Lay that rib cage down. Let it be heavy. Draw your belly button away from that mat. Try and switch off your glutes. You'll need them a little bit, but try not to be too grippy and crazy through those. Width across your back. Your head is resting on that floor to start with. And if you need to leave it there, you can, but most of you will be able to draw your shoulder blades down your back and hover that head just an inch or two away from the floor. From here, hands hover. Can you tuck those elbows down? This is what I was showing you when I was sitting up, and then release them back to their start position. Keep that belly drawn away from the mat. If you need to let your head down, you can do it. Tuck those elbows down, your chicken wings, and release them back. Really strong. Really find that connection through your back line, drawing your belly button away from the floor. Keep up in that hover position. Let's challenge these back extensors. Can you extend your shoulders slightly further away from that mat as you tuck down and you release and we tuck down? You can stay with this version, take a break in a shell stretch if you need to, or else we tuck down like you just did, you release like you just did, and you come out in the, stuff in the way, come out in a T and back to your start and tuck down. When you tuck down, keep your elbows low, don't let them point up to the ceiling, and release. And into your T, reach your hands away from each other and back to the centre and tuck down and release and reach out into your T, belly button drawn away from that floor, don't let your belly pop out and back. Last one, make sure you breathe, as you tuck down and you release and out into that really wide T and back into your start. Hands come down, push yourself up onto all fours. When you're up on all fours, can you round that spine? Send your bottom back onto your heels so you're into your shell stretch and breathe. Have a wee rock from side to side. So I've had not a very happy back for a couple of weeks now, and this kind of easing out is just lovely. So explore that movement. You're not pushing into a painful zone, but sometimes you can just really feel something ease out, and right now that's what I'm getting, is this lovely stretch through my lower back. So we move ourselves through these strange ranges of motion so as we can keep our strange ranges of motion, because life is all about moving in weird and wonderful ways. We don't move in straight linear patterns, we don't move symmetrically in life. So while you're here, just have a bit of an explore. I'm sort of shifting from side to side, getting a bit of a diagonal stretch. And then from here, let's come onto your back. For one more bit on our back, because I want to rotate. So, lay yourself down. Head on a wee head pad if you wish. Arms out in a low V, palms facing down. Your feet are hip distance apart to start with. And I want you to let your knees go to the left, let your head roll to the right. And you can go as far as you want. Your knees, one knee, both knees might reach the floor. What I want you to do is keep both shoulders down. So both hands, both backs of your arms, both shoulders stay down. And then you come through centre. So this is a little bit more chilled out than we would normally do, because your feet are hip distance apart. You've got space in around those hips, and you're moving them nearly independently of each other. And your only real rule is that your head stays down and it turns the opposite way and your shoulders stay down. Let's have one more. So letting your knees for your last one go to the right as your head turns to the left, your left shoulder stays down. This is your first half of your pair, and you can stay here, but most of you, as long as your low back is okay, most of you can go for your second version. Second version, your feet walk together, your knees are together. Piece of blue tack between your knees, piece of blue tack between your ankles, they do not separate. So as you send your knees to the left and your head turns to the right, you're going to find that your right foot lifts and you come onto the outside border of your left foot, and you've really got to reach out of that top hip to keep those knees together, to keep that blue tack joining them. Breathe in when you're there into that top lung, and then as you breathe out, draw those legs back. Breathe in the centre, breathe out. Send your knees to the right so your left foot is coming away from that mat. Your head turns towards the left. Your blue tack is still between your ankles as well as between your knees, so you're really reaching through that top hip. Take your inhale, and as you breathe out, draw yourself back. And again. So you can stay with the first version if your low back is a bit backy, but most of you will be fine with this version. Get a really nice rotation around your rib cage. Notice when you do this version, with your feet together, that your knees are not coming to the floor. So that stops being the idea now. Now the idea is, okay, how much can I rotate around that rib cage? How much openness can I get? How far can I reach that top knee? Keeping my opposite shoulder down. And again, this is a really nice movement if you're a bit tight through your spine. You just kind of explore it and see how it feels, and you may find after having done a few that you get a little bit more freedom. This is your last one, so your knees are going to the right, your head is turning to the left, whatever it is that you need to do to even yourself up. And then you come back to the centre. You're coming over onto all fours, and we're going to have a bit of a cat stretch, again to ease out this back. So, hands under shoulders, knees under hips, so your knees are separated, your feet are separated, shoulders gently down your back, natural curves in your spine, so you can see I've got a bit of a hollow in my lower back. Breathing in, and as you breathe out, tuck your tailbone. So like you're a whippet that's just been scolded, you're tucking your tail under. Think about that lower back. That starts to transition into your middle back. As you draw that belly button up, your lower ribs tuck up. Press into the outside border of your hands, your shoulder blades separate, your head tucks under, breathe in. As you breathe out, lower back first. As that comes out, it starts to transition into your middle back. Your shoulder blades glide down your back and you find yourself back in that start position. You're looking in front of your hands, not straight down. So you're forward enough on your hands, so long as your wrists can do it, that your head is looking in front of those hands. Breathe in, let's go again. Breathing out, tuck your tail under. Draw that belly button up. Really active through your belly. Eventually that transitions, you start drawing up your bottom couple of ribs. Your shoulder blades widen, keep your weight forward, tuck your head under, look towards your knees, breathe in. Breathing out, let your tail come out. Think lower back first of all. Then that waves up through your body. Eventually your shoulder blades glide down. You end up looking at that mat just in front of your hands. Breathe in. Breathing out. Pelvis first, low back and lower back and lower back. Belly button draws up, bottom couple of ribs draw up. Press into the outside border of those hands, keep your weight forward, you tuck your head under, you look towards your knees, breathe in. As you breathe out, untuck that tail. Let that transition up through your body, shoulder blades glide down, you're looking just in front of your hands. Let's have one more. Your elbows stay long throughout this as you tuck that tailbone under. Nice, and we draw that belly button up and we draw our bottom couple of ribs up and we press into the outside border of those hands. Those elbows stay super long the whole time. Tuck your head under, look towards your knees, breathe in. Breathing out. Tailbone comes out first. Lengthen everything out, shoulders are down your back. You're coming up to standing. If you can come up through a roll up, let's come up through a roll up. If you need to come up whatever way, you come up whatever way. So if you can come up through a roll up, you tuck your toes under, walk your hands back, send your bottom up into the air, let your head come down. I'm super tight through the back of my legs, so I'm just going to hang out here for a bit. I'm going to let my knees soften, I'm going to let myself hang. Because that's how I'm feeling right now. If you guys are feeling a bit more spacious, then you can totally straighten your legs. But I want no tension in the back of your neck, and I want your arms to be free. So you can even nod your head a bit, you can shake your head a bit. And when you're ready, you take a breath in to prepare, and as you breathe out, draw your belly up. Really get that pelvis tilting, setting itself on top of your legs. And then the rest of your spine follows, and follows, and follows. And you end up nice and tall. From here, hopefully you can see. Yeah, you can. I'm going to stand sideways. Feet hip distance apart, spine nice and tall. Stack up your pelvis, your rib cage on top, your head on top of that. I want you to bend your knees. And I want you to straighten. So get this idea that there's no wall behind you, but if there was, you'd be sliding your back down that wall. So I guess what I'm saying is you're not really tilting forward. You're keeping as upright as you can. Depending what your hips and your knees and your ankles are like will depend what this looks like. But you're keeping, it's like a baby knee bend, and you're keeping your heels down. One more. So this is your last pair. So I'm going to show that is like half of your first pair is knee bends. And then we're going to rise up. So you're rising up onto your tippy toes, right up onto your tippy toes, super tall, and then control back down. So you're rising up, and you're controlling back down. This is all your first version. So we're all getting used to our feet working, getting used to our bottoms working, finding our balance. As you stay up tall and back down. So, your first version is putting those two together. So you knee bend and straighten and rise and down. Yeah? So you bend and you straighten and you rise straight up and down. Do one more like that. And if this is you, then you stay here. If you want to try the more advanced version, again, most of you can, but if you're struggling with your balance, stay with this version. The stronger version, bend your knees, keep your knees bent, roll forwards. Lengthen up towards the ceiling and control down. So you can either stay just with your knee bends and your rises, or you bend. You roll forward. Into your high heels, right under the weight into the front of those big toes, and then you lengthen up and you control back down. And if you're in the first version, you stay with it. You can try this if you want, just make sure you have something to hold on to if you're feeling a bit wobbly. And lengthen up and down. If you're doing the second version, we're going to go the other direction just a wee bit, so I want you to rise up first. Once you're up, keep those heels lifted, bend your knees, keep those high heels on, don't let your heels drop as you let those heels come down, and lengthen up. So we rise and we bend, and our heels roll down, and we lengthen up. One more, so we rise up and we bend, and our heels come down, and we lengthen up. Really nice. So last wee bit, corkscrew. I'm going to lose my arms up above my head, but you know what's happening, we've done this before. So our feet are hip distance apart. You're standing nice and tall. Breathe in, reach those arms wide. Breathe out, your hands come behind your head. Breathe in, shoulders rise up. Breathe out, shoulders come down. Breathe in, elbows come back in space. Breathing out, reaching those arms really long, really wide as you come down. One more to finish. So breathing in, send your arms up and wide. Breathing out, hands come behind your head. Breathe in, shoulders rise up. Breathing out, your shoulders come down. Breathe in, elbows go back in space. And breathe out, send those arms super wide. Let them come down. And you're all done. Have a fantastic weekend.